The night was quiet, but not peaceful. Thunder rolled over the city, and heavy rain washed the empty streets. Inside a small repair shop on the corner, Ethan Ward, a lonely mechanic, was closing up for the night. He lived a simple life. Machines were easier to fix than people, and silence was kinder than words. He was locking the door when he heard it, a soft, trembling voice behind him. "Please, don't let my father find me." Ethan turned sharply. Standing under the flickering streetlight was a girl, soaked from head to toe. Her long silver hair clung to her face, her skin faintly glowing under the rain. For a moment, Ethan thought the light was playing tricks on him, until she looked up. Her eyes weren't human. They shimmered with tiny rings of violet light. "Are you hurt?" Ethan asked, stepping closer carefully. She shook her head quickly, clutching a small black bag tight to her chest. "Please, I don't have time. He's coming. You must hide me." Ethan hesitated. He didn't know who he was, but fear in her voice was real. The rain got heavier, and something deep inside Ethan told him to help. Maybe it was instinct, or maybe it was loneliness. "All right, come in," he said. The girl followed him inside. The repair shop smelled of oil and metal. Machines lined the walls, and the dim yellow light made the space feel smaller than it was. She stood near the door, trembling. "What's your name?" Ethan asked, handing her a towel. She hesitated before whispering, "Lyra." Her voice cracked as she spoke, like someone who hadn't talked in days. Ethan noticed strange lines glowing faintly on her wrists, symbols he didn't recognize. They pulsed like circuits under her skin. He didn't ask yet. He could see she was terrified. Then, the lights flickered. Ethan frowned. Power cuts were common during storms, but this felt different. The tools on his table buzzed softly. The radio hissed with static. Lyra looked up sharply, her eyes wide. "He's here," she whispered. "Who?" Ethan asked. She didn't answer. Instead, she opened the black bag just a little, and the moment she did, the light inside the room bent strangely. Like the air itself was trembling. Ethan felt his skin prickle, as if a silent vibration passed through everything. Before he could see what was inside, Lyra snapped the bag shut again. "You must not look," she said quickly. "It's not safe for your kind." "My kind?" Ethan echoed. "What are you talking about? Who's your father?" Before Lyra could answer, a sound came from outside, a low humming noise, deep and mechanical. Blue light flashed across the wet street. A hovercraft slowly descended from the clouds, its engines glowing cold white. Ethan stared through the window. The craft had no markings, no license, nothing human about it. And in its light, tall shadows moved. "They found me," Lyra breathed. "You have to hide me now." Ethan didn't know what he was getting into, but he moved fast. He led her behind a stack of old engine parts and pulled a top over her. The humming grew louder. He turned off the shop lights, leaving only darkness and rain sounds. Moments later, the door shook. A deep metallic voice spoke from outside. "Human. Open the door." Ethan's heart pounded. He looked at the handle, then at Lyra's terrified eyes peeking from the shadows. He had a choice: open the door and stay safe, or risk everything for a stranger. He took a slow breath and unlocked the door. A tall figure stepped inside, wearing black armor that shimmered faintly like liquid metal. Its face was hidden behind a mask, but its voice was cold and powerful. "An unauthorized being entered this area," it said. "We are looking for her." Ethan pretended to look confused. "I haven't seen anyone," he lied smoothly. The armored figure scanned the room. The blue light from its visor moved over every surface, stopping near the pile of parts where Lyra was hiding. For a second, Ethan thought it would find her. Then, the light turned away. The figure stepped back. "If you see her," it warned, "report immediately. She carries something dangerous." When the hovercraft finally left, Ethan locked the door again. He turned to Lyra, who stepped out from hiding, her face pale, her eyes filled with tears. "Thank you," she whispered. "You don't understand what you've just done." Ethan glanced at the black bag she held. "What's in there, Lyra?" She looked down, holding it tighter. "If they find it," she said softly, your entire planet will burn. The storm outside had calmed, but inside Ethan's small workshop, the air was still heavy with fear. The blue glow from Lyra's eyes faded slowly as she sat on a stool, her small hands trembling over the strange black bag. Ethan kept pacing near the window, making sure no strange lights or ships were nearby. Everything seemed quiet, for now. What did you mean by that? Ethan finally asked. You said if they find what's in the bag, my planet will burn. Lyra looked up at him with sad, glowing eyes. It's not a weapon, she said softly, but it's something my father wants to use as one. Ethan frowned. Who is your father? Lyra hesitated. The silence stretched for long seconds. Then she said quietly, he's not like you. He's not like me either. He's a creator. A creator. Ethan repeated, confused. Lyra nodded slowly. He made things, machines, soldiers, even worlds. But when he made me, something went wrong. He said I was weak. A mistake. Her voice broke slightly. And now, he wants to erase me, and take this back. She held the black bag closer to her chest. Ethan's eyes narrowed. So, what's inside? Lyra looked toward the bag as if it could hear her. It's called the heart seed. It gives life, or it destroys it. It depends on who uses it. Ethan's breath caught. And he wants it back to destroy Earth. She nodded. Earth is one of the last free worlds. My father believes humans are dangerous because you don't follow the rules of the universe. You change things you don't understand. Ethan gave a small, tired laugh. Yeah, that sounds like us. Lyra's eyes softened. He fears you. Because humans can turn even weakness into strength. Before Ethan could answer, a low vibration filled the air. The floor under their feet trembled slightly. The sound grew deeper, like something massive moving above the clouds. Lyra froze. He's tracking the heart seed. He must have found the signal. Ethan quickly moved to the power switch and killed the lights again. The room sank into darkness. Through the window, he could see faint blue beams sweeping across the city from the sky, scanning every building. Lyra whispered, he sent the hunters. Ethan looked at her. Then we can't stay here. She nodded. But we can't run, not on foot. They'll find us within minutes. Ethan thought for a second, then turned toward the corner of his shop. Under a top sat an old hoverbike, one he'd been repairing for months. It wasn't perfect, but it could fly low enough to stay off radar. Can you trust me? He asked. Lyra stared at him for a moment, then slowly nodded. You already risked your life for me. I'll trust you. Ethan grabbed tools, working fast. Sparks flew as he reconnected wires and tightened bolts. Lyra stood nearby, her eyes glowing faintly to provide light. You're not afraid? She asked. Ethan smiled without looking up. I've fixed worse than this. Lyra tilted her head. I meant, of me. He paused for a second, meeting her eyes. If you wanted to hurt me, you already could have. So no, I'm not afraid of you. Lyra looked down, her silver hair falling over her face. For the first time, a small smile touched her lips. Minutes later, the hoverbike roared to life. Blue light pulsed from its engine, matching the glow from Lyra's skin. Let's move, Ethan said. They stepped outside into the cold, damp air. The rain had stopped, but the streets glowed with puddles reflecting the lights from the sky. Far above, massive alien ships drifted silently, their beams scanning like giant eyes. Ethan climbed onto the bike, and Lyra sat behind him, clutching the bag tightly. Hold on, he warned, as the bike lifted from the ground. The machine wobbled, then steadied. They flew low between narrow streets, weaving through fog and shadows. The wind whipped through their hair, and the city lights blurred behind them. Lyra closed her eyes, whispering something in a strange alien language. What are you saying? Ethan asked over the wind. A prayer, she said softly. For you. Ethan didn't reply, but something in his chest tightened. Then, a flash of light exploded behind them. The sky lit up blue, and a beam of energy shot down, barely missing the hoverbike. The impact shook the ground, throwing up waves of dust and debris. They found us. Lyra cried. "Hold on tight." Ethan shouted. He sped forward, diving under a bridge as another blast hit the water nearby. The air shimmered with heat and light. Ethan could feel the bike straining, the old engine whining in protest. Lyra looked over her shoulder, eyes wide with fear. "They're sending drones." Dozens of small metallic orbs broke off from the skyships, glowing red as they chased them through the city. Ethan gritted his teeth. "Then we need to disappear." He veered sharply into an alley, sparks flying as the bike scraped against walls. Lyra held the bag tight against her chest, whispering in her alien tongue again. Suddenly, the air around them shimmered, and for a second, the drones lost their lock. Ethan blinked. "What did you just do?" "I cloaked us," she said weakly. "But it won't last long." He nodded, pushing the bike toward the edge of the city. The last thing he saw in the mirror was the sky turning darker, filled with the shadows of something far larger approaching Earth. Lyra's voice trembled. "He's coming himself now." Ethan looked ahead into the dark horizon. "Then we'd better be ready." The city lights faded behind them as Ethan and Lyra flew into the dark countryside. The hoverbike's weak engine hummed softly under the blanket of mist. Every sound felt louder now, the whisper of wind, the soft hum of the bike, the faint heartbeat of danger in the distance. Ethan didn't speak. His eyes stayed fixed on the road of clouds ahead. Behind him, Lyra sat silent, clutching the black bag tightly against her small chest. After an hour, he finally slowed the bike near an abandoned power station surrounded by trees. Rusted metal towers stood like skeletons in the fog. It was quiet, too quiet. "This place is safe?" Lyra asked in a whisper. "For now," Ethan replied, scanning the horizon. "No power, no signals. They won't track us here." Lyra nodded slowly and stepped off the bike. Her silver hair caught the pale moonlight, glowing faintly. She looked small, fragile, but something about her eyes made her seem older, wiser than her age. Ethan crouched beside an old metal crate, wiping sweat from his forehead. "So tell me," he said, "if your father's this powerful, why does he want this heart seed so badly?" Lyra looked down, her voice trembling. "Because it was never meant to exist. He created it to give life to dying worlds, but it grew beyond his control. It began to think." Ethan froze. "Think? You mean it's alive?" Lyra nodded slowly. "In a way. It chooses who can hold it. That's why he can't touch it anymore. It rejected him." Ethan frowned. "Then why do you have it?" Lyra looked up at him with tears in her glowing eyes. "Because it chose me. And now, he wants to destroy me for it." Before Ethan could reply, the ground beneath them trembled slightly. The air thickened with a low hum, not like an engine, but something deeper, almost alive. Lyra's expression changed. Her pupils narrowed into thin lines. "He's here." Ethan stood up instantly, pulling her behind him. "How can he find us so fast?" Lyra whispered, "He doesn't need technology. He can feel the heartseed's energy, and me." The fog around them began to glow faint blue. Tiny particles of light floated in the air, swirling like fireflies. The ground cracked softly, and a tall silhouette emerged through the mist. At first, Ethan thought it was a man, but as it came closer, he realized it was something else entirely. The figure was tall and elegant, made of dark metallic skin that shimmered like liquid steel. Its face was calm, emotionless, yet ancient. Its eyes burned with white light. "Lyra," the being said softly, voice echoing like thunder through the trees. "My creation. You've run long enough." Lyra stepped back, shaking. "Father, please. Don't do this." Ethan looked at the being in disbelief. "You're her father." The creature turned its gaze toward him, studying him like a scientist observing an insect. "A human. Curious, you shelter what you cannot comprehend." Ethan stood firm. "I don't care what she is. You don't hurt her." The creator tilted his head. "Protective. Illogical. Typical of your species." He raised his hand slightly. The air vibrated, and in an instant, Ethan was thrown backward, crashing into a pile of metal debris. "Ethan!" Lyra screamed, rushing toward him. The creator's voice deepened. You cannot hide from destiny, Lyra. The heart seed belongs to me. Lyra clutched the bag tighter. No. It belongs to life. Blue light exploded from the bag, spreading across the ground like a pulse of living energy. The creator staggered back slightly, his eyes narrowing. You still don't understand its power, he said. It will consume you. Lyra's voice shook. Then let it consume me. But not them. Ethan pushed himself up, blood on his lip, watching the light grow brighter. The trees around them started glowing, their branches trembling as if they were alive. The creator stepped forward again, forcing his way through the light. You are not strong enough to control it. Ethan shouted, then maybe she doesn't have to control it. The creator looked at him sharply, confused by his words. Ethan took a step closer to Lyra. If that thing gives life, maybe it listens to life too. You said it chooses, right? Lyra nodded weakly. Ethan looked at the glowing bag. Then maybe it can choose to help us. The light flickered, reacting to his words. The creator growled, voice breaking the air like thunder. You dare speak to what you do not understand. The ground split open, and a surge of energy threw Ethan and Lyra apart. The bag flew through the air and landed between them. For a moment, everything went silent, except for the slow, heartbeat-like thrum coming from the heart seed. Ethan reached for it. So did the creator. The light exploded once more, swallowing everything in a wave of blinding white. Then, darkness. The world was silent. No wind. No sound. Only light. Ethan opened his eyes slowly. He was floating in a white, endless space. No ground, no sky, just glowing mist stretching in every direction. He looked down and saw Lyra drifting nearby, her silver hair floating like threads of light. She looked peaceful, her eyes closed. Lyra, he called out. Her eyes fluttered open. Ethan, where are we? I don't know, he said. 1 second there was an explosion, and now, this. Then, a soft voice echoed all around them, calm, ancient, and beautiful. You are inside the heart seed. Ethan spun around, trying to find the source, but there was no one there. The voice seemed to come from everywhere at once. Lyra gasped. It's speaking. The voice continued, I sense 2 hearts, one born of stars, one born of dust. Both afraid, both strong. Ethan frowned. You're alive. Alive, it said gently. I am the seed of creation. I listen. I feel. I choose. Lyra floated closer. Then why did you bring us here? Because you both reached for me, the heart seed answered. And now I must decide who is worthy to carry my power. Lyra's expression turned desperate. Please, not him. He's human, he doesn't understand what this power can do. Ethan looked at her. Lyra, But before he could finish, the light around them shifted. In an instant, he was standing on solid ground again, but it wasn't real. He was inside a memory. He saw himself years ago, younger, smiling, working with his team at a research station. Then came the explosion, the one that killed them all. He remembered the smoke, the fire, the screams. He had been the only one who survived. The voice whispered in his mind. You carry guilt. You run from what you cannot fix. Ethan clenched his fists. I did what I could. Did you? The heart seed asked softly. Or did you stop believing you could change anything? The image faded. Now he saw Lyra standing before a tall figure, her father, the creator. Father, she whispered in the memory, why can't we help them? They are dying. Because they are imperfect, the creator's voice said coldly. Perfection must survive, not weakness. Lyra reached toward him, but he turned away. Tears fell from her glowing eyes. You carry sorrow, the heart seed said. But not hate. That makes you different from him. Lyra looked down. I never wanted to fight him. I just wanted him to see me. The white light dimmed slightly, and both Ethan and Lyra were pulled back to the center of the glowing space. One of you must guard me, the heart seed said. But only one. Ethan looked at Lyra. Take it. It's yours. Lyra shook her head. No. You don't understand. If I take it, he'll find me again. He'll destroy everything to get to me. Then we'll fight him, Ethan said. Lyra stared at him. Humans can't fight gods. Ethan smiled faintly. Maybe not. But humans never needed to be gods to win. We just don't give up. The light around them began to pulse faster, reacting to Ethan's words. The Heartseed's voice softened. Courage, even when hopeless. That is what I felt in you. Lyra turned to him, eyes wide. It's choosing you. Ethan felt warmth spreading through his chest, a soft golden light glowing under his skin. He gasped, clutching his heart. You are not pure, the voice said. But you have purpose. Protect life, and I will protect you. Lyra's voice broke. No, if it bonds with you, he'll come for you now. He'll never stop. Ethan smiled gently. Then let him come. The white world shattered into shards of light. Ethan and Lyra fell back into reality, crashing onto the metal floor of the power station. Sparks flew around them. The Heartseed hovered above Ethan, glowing bright gold now instead of blue. Lyra crawled toward him. Ethan, are you? He opened his eyes, and for a moment, his irises glowed like twin stars. I'm fine, he said. I think, it's part of me now. Outside, the sky turned blood red. The clouds swirled violently as lightning cracked through the air. A deep rumble echoed across the land. Lyra's face went pale. He knows. The Creator knows you have it. Ethan stood slowly, the golden light still flickering in his hands. Good. Then it's time we stop running. Lyra looked up at him, the human who had just been chosen by a power meant for gods, and for the first time, she smiled through her fear. Then we fight, she said. Ethan nodded. Together. Above them, the sky split open as a massive ship descended, larger than any building, its shadow swallowing the horizon. The Creator had arrived. The ground shook as the giant ship descended from the sky. It wasn't just metal, it looked alive. The hull pulsed with moving lights, and every vibration made the air hum like a heartbeat. Trees bent under its power. The entire forest glowed blue under its shadow. Ethan stood on the edge of the power station, staring up. His heart pounded, but not from fear, from something new, something burning inside him. The Heartseed glowed faintly in his chest, sending golden threads of light across his skin. Beside him, Lyra clutched his arm. Her eyes reflected the fiery clouds above. He's coming, she whispered. He'll destroy everything just to take it back. Ethan's voice was calm. Then let him try. The air exploded as the Creator landed. His massive form stepped out from the ship like a god walking among insects. Every movement cracked the ground beneath his feet. His metallic skin shimmered with cold energy, and his white eyes burned with fury. Human, the Creator said, his voice deep enough to shake the sky. You dare to take what is mine. Ethan stared back. You mean her or the seed? The Creator's head tilted slightly. Both. Lyra stepped forward, trembling but brave. Father, stop this. Please. It's not meant to destroy. The Creator's gaze turned cold. You disobeyed me, Lyra. You protected imperfection. You became one of them. He raised his hand, and blue lightning crackled around his fingers. The power was immense, enough to tear the air apart. Ethan stepped in front of Lyra, his body glowing faintly gold. You'll have to go through me first. The Creator's eyes narrowed. You are fragile flesh, human. Do you really think you can stop me? Ethan smiled. I don't think. I believe. The Creator unleashed a storm of blue energy. It struck Ethan full force, but instead of burning him, the light split apart on impact, scattering like sparks. The Heartseed pulsed brighter, absorbing the attack. Lyra gasped. It's protecting you. Ethan's eyes flashed golden. No, he said quietly. It's listening. He stepped forward, every footstep shaking the ground slightly. The air around him shimmered as the Heartseed's energy flowed through his veins. The Creator looked almost uncertain. Impossible, he whispered. You are not of the makers. You cannot control it. Ethan raised his hand, and the ground beneath them shifted. The broken metal of the station started to move, forming shields and barriers around them as if the earth itself obeyed him. I don't control it, Ethan said. I earn it. The creator's anger exploded. Then you will die with it. He moved faster than sight, appearing before Ethan in a flash of blue light. His strike hit like thunder, but Ethan caught his arm mid-blow. The impact cracked the ground, sending shockwaves through the forest. Ethan's voice stayed calm. You call yourself a god, but gods don't fear. The creator growled, straining against his grip. I fear nothing. But deep inside his white eyes, Ethan saw it, a flicker of doubt. The Heartseed's voice echoed softly in Ethan's mind. He once guarded life. But fear turned him cruel. You can end it, or save him. Ethan's hand glowed brighter. He could feel the Heartseed offering power, more than he'd ever imagined. He could end this in one strike. But Lyra's voice stopped him. Ethan, wait. Don't become like him. Ethan hesitated. The creator took the chance. He swung his other arm, slamming Ethan into the metal wall. Pain shot through his body. Lyra screamed and ran toward him, but the creator reached out, grabbing her by the arm. You were mine, Lyra, he hissed. And you will return to me. Ethan's vision blurred. The pain was sharp, but through it, he heard the Heartseed whisper again. Will you protect, or destroy? He pushed himself up, blood dripping from his lip. His voice was low but steady. I protect. The golden light burst from his chest like a star igniting. The force threw the creator back, releasing Lyra from his grip. Ethan stood tall, glowing brighter with every breath. The air vibrated with energy. His wounds closed, his strength returned, and the Heartseed floated above his palm, spinning slowly. You wanted a perfect world, Ethan said, his voice echoing with power. But perfection doesn't feel, doesn't care, doesn't love. That's why humans will always win. The creator shielded his face as the golden light expanded. Stop. You'll destroy everything. Ethan's voice rose like thunder. Then let it destroy your fear. The blast hit like a sunburst. The sky turned white for miles, the forest rippling with energy. The great ship cracked in half, its systems collapsing. When the light faded, Ethan fell to his knees. The Heartseed dimmed, hovering weakly above his hand. Lyra ran to him, tears streaming down her glowing cheeks. Ethan, you're hurt. He smiled faintly. I'm fine. I think. She looked around. The creator was gone. Only dust and silence remained where he had stood. Lyra looked up at the broken sky. Is it over? Ethan stared at the fading glow in his hand. No, he said softly. He's not dead. Just gone, for now. Lyra's eyes filled with both fear and hope. Then what do we do? Ethan looked toward the rising sun in the distance. We get ready. Because when he comes back, he won't just be after you. He glanced at his hand, the faint light of the Heartseed still flickering there. He'll be after me. Dawn broke across the ruined forest. The sun rose weakly through the smoke, painting the sky in shades of red and gold. The air smelled of metal, ash, and ozone. The great alien ship lay silent, broken in half like a fallen titan. Ethan sat on a cracked steel beam, staring at the faint golden glow in his hand. The Heartseed pulsed softly, alive, but weaker now. Lyra sat nearby, wrapping a piece of cloth around his arm where the creator's strike had left a deep burn. You shouldn't have fought him, she said quietly. No human should survive that. Ethan gave a small grin. Guess I'm not just human anymore. Lyra frowned. That's not a good thing. He looked at her, confused. She continued softly, the Heartseed's power, it's changing you. Humans aren't meant to hold it. It can burn your soul if you use too much. Ethan sighed. Then I'll have to be careful. Lyra looked down. You don't understand. My father won't stop. He'll rebuild, stronger. And if the Heartseed stays with you, he'll come for it again. Ethan stood slowly, staring at the horizon. The morning light shimmered faintly, but something strange flickered within the sky, like sparks breaking through clouds. He narrowed his eyes. "What's that?" Lyra followed his gaze. Her face went pale. "Oh no." High above the earth, glowing shapes began to appear, not ships, but portals. Dozens of them. They opened like wounds in the sky, spilling blue light. Lyra's voice trembled. "His calling his fleet. His bringing the others." Ethan clenched his fists. "Then we don't have much time." He turned toward the broken remains of the power station. "If I can send a signal, maybe I can warn the others, maybe we can fight back." Lyra looked doubtful. "A human army can't stop them." Ethan glanced back at her with a determined smile. "Maybe not. But humans have a way of surviving what they shouldn't." He began pulling wires, repairing the old transmitter tower. Sparks flew as he rewired panels, his hands glowing faintly gold from the Heartseed's energy. Lyra stepped closer. "You're using its power again." He nodded. "Only enough to boost the signal." A faint hum filled the air. The tower flickered to life, lights turning on for the first time in years. Ethan adjusted the frequency, then spoke into the microphone. "This is Ethan Ward, calling any human outpost, any surviving command center. Earth is under attack from a non-human force. If you hear this, prepare." Static. He tried again. "We're not alone. And they are coming." Then, unexpectedly, a voice crackled through the radio. "This is Outpost 7. We hear you. Transmission clear. Identify threat." Ethan's eyes widened. "It's them, we reached someone." Lyra's eyes shone. "You did it." Ethan leaned closer to the MIC. "Listen carefully. They're not like anything you've seen. You can't fight them with bullets. You'll need energy shields, EMP weapons, anything that can disrupt molecular frequency." The voice on the radio paused. "Copy that. We'll prepare defenses." Then the line cut out, replaced by static again. Lyra smiled faintly. "You gave them a chance." But Ethan didn't smile. His gaze was fixed on the sky, where the portals were multiplying. The air shimmered with the energy of incoming ships. "They won't stop," he said quietly. "They'll come in waves until Earth burns." Lyra stepped beside him. "Then we fight together." Ethan turned to her. "You don't have to stay, Lyra. You could run, find another world, hide from him." She shook her head, her silver hair glowing faintly in the morning light. "My place is here. My father created death. Maybe I can help create life again." Ethan smiled, tired, but proud. Suddenly, the Heartseed glowed brighter in his chest. A beam of golden light shot upward, piercing the clouds. Lyra shielded her eyes. "What's happening?" she asked. Ethan's expression hardened. "It's reacting to them. It's showing me something." His eyes turned completely gold for a moment. He saw flashes, hundreds of alien ships moving through the portals, dark shapes surrounding Earth. But beneath the surface of the planet, he saw something else, a pulse. A buried network of ancient energy, sleeping deep in Earth's core. The Heartseed whispered inside his mind. "You are not the first. This world was chosen long ago." Ethan gasped. "Chosen? For what?" The light faded. He looked at Lyra, breathing hard. "There's something hidden on Earth. Something old, maybe as old as the Heartseed itself." Lyra's eyes widened. "Then maybe it can help us." Ethan nodded slowly. "Then we find it, before he does." The ground trembled again, louder this time. Dust fell from the ruins. A shadow passed over them, massive and cold. Lyra's voice broke. "He's here." Ethan looked up at the sky. The Creator's new ship appeared through the portal, 10 times larger than before, its engines glowing like burning suns. He tightened his grip on the Heartseed. The golden light flared once more in his chest. He looked at Lyra and said quietly, "Then it's time to wake the Earth." The ground shook as the sky burned red. The Creator's new ship hung above Earth like a black moon, massive, silent, and terrifying. Every few seconds, a low hum rolled through the air, making the very ground tremble. Ethan and Lyra ran through the ruins, heading toward the mountains in the distance. The heart seed pulsed in Ethan's chest, guiding him with faint golden flashes. Lyra looked at him. "You're sure it's here?" Ethan nodded. "The seed showed me something, tunnels, deep under the planet. It said Earth was chosen. Whatever it meant, it's under us." As they climbed through broken steel and cracked concrete, a deep voice echoed through the air, not through sound, but inside their minds. "You cannot hide from me, daughter." Lyra froze. Her eyes went wide. He's speaking through the void. Ethan clenched his fists. "Let him talk. We keep moving." They entered a collapsed highway tunnel. It was dark, silent except for dripping water and the faint buzz of energy coming from Ethan's chest. He raised his hand, and the heart seed's light illuminated the way. Strange markings covered the walls, glowing faintly gold. Lyra touched one gently. "These symbols, they're not from my world. They're older." Ethan looked closer. "Maybe from whoever left the heart seed here first." They followed the markings deeper until the tunnel opened into a vast underground chamber, a perfect sphere carved from smooth black stone. At the center was a massive crystal structure, half buried in the rock, glowing faint blue. Lyra gasped. "Ethan, this is it. This is the core energy of your planet." The heart seed in Ethan's chest began to vibrate wildly. A golden beam shot from his hand, connecting with the crystal. The entire cavern shook. Lyra stepped back. "Ethan, what are you doing?" He gritted his teeth. "I'm not doing it, it's doing it through me." The golden and blue lights twisted together, merging. The crystal pulsed like a beating heart. A deep, ancient voice echoed through the cavern, soft but powerful. "Who awakens the guardian?" Lyra whispered, trembling, "That's not my father's voice." Ethan looked around. "Guardian. Long have I slept beneath this world," the voice continued. "I was placed here to protect life, not rule it. But the stars grew silent, until now." The heart seed's light flared brighter. Ethan's body shook as the voice resonated through him. "You were chosen to carry my spark," it said. Ethan gasped. "You mean, the seed?" "Yes. It was one of us. A fragment of my essence. It called to you because you were not born to destroy, but to defend." Lyra stepped forward. "Then help us. The Creator is coming, he'll burn this planet to ashes." Silence. Then the Guardian's voice grew deeper, sadder. "I cannot fight. My strength is bound within the planet itself. But through you, I can awaken what sleeps beneath." Ethan's eyes glowed gold. "Then do it." The Guardian's voice rumbled like thunder. "Brace yourself, human." The entire cavern exploded with light. Energy surged through the ground, racing outward in golden waves. Mountains trembled, oceans roared. Across the world, forgotten machines buried deep underground came to life, massive structures shaped like ancient titans rising from beneath the Earth's crust. Lyra stared in awe. "They're alive." Ethan fell to his knees, panting. "What are they?" "Defenders," the Guardian said. "Built long ago by those who first carried the heart seed. They sleep until the planet is in danger." Lyra's eyes filled with tears. "And now, they're waking up." Above them, the Creator's ship began to fire beams of red energy toward Earth, but the beams shattered before hitting the surface. Giant shields, powered by the awakening titans, formed a glowing barrier across the sky. Ethan stood slowly, his body still glowing faintly. "We bought ourselves time." Lyra looked at him, her voice trembling. "Ethan, you just awakened an army." He smiled faintly. "Then it's time to lead one." But before she could respond, a blinding red beam sliced through the cavern wall. The air burned. The Creator's voice filled their minds again, colder, furious. "So, the seed chose you, human. How pathetic." Ethan and Lyra turned to see a massive holographic form of the Creator standing at the tunnel entrance, his eyes burning with crimson fire. Ethan glared back. "You talk too much." The Creator's smile was cruel. "Then let your planet answer for your arrogance." Outside, the sky tore open wider. Dozens of warships emerged from the portals, their weapons glowing like small suns. Lyra grabbed Ethan's arm. "He's bringing the full fleet." Ethan took a deep breath, the heart seed glowing fiercely in his chest. "Then let's show him what Earth can do." The cavern shook again, this time not from fear, but from power. The awakened titans roared in unison, their lights flaring across continents. For the first time in centuries, the Earth was fighting back.